अस्सलाम वालेकुम नाज़रीन, मैं हूँ आपकी होस्ट हनादी नदीम and keep watching my program आज की बात हनादी के साथ. And thank you for appreciating it. I really appreciate and I'm really thankful for your love and appreciation. Naazreen, today's program is of special importance because our guest is a very special person. Today we have Khizr Khan with us, a Gold Star father. Before his introduction, I also want to thank Shiraz, who has given us the opportunity. It's one of my favorite restaurants with beautiful decor and wonderful food. And I would love to come here often and have some chai and just to relax. So Naazreen, I want to tell you more about Mr. Khizr Khan. He doesn't need any introduction, but still, I want to tell you a few words about him. Mr. Khizr Khan, a Pakistani American icon and a Gold Star father. Sir, thank you so much for coming here and thank you so much for the opportunity, for giving us the opportunity to talk to you.
Well, thank you for inviting me and thank you for your hospitality and thank you for this beautiful place to accommodating us. I'm delighted to be with you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I was reading your book, right? You have written a book.
Three of them now.
Three of them? Okay, I was reading one of them and it really touched me. And I want to share it with my audience. You wrote in your book, when I was a young boy, my grandfather used to tell me stories in the moonlight. Some nights he would read to me Iqbal or Rumi or learn lessons from Quran. He was a wise, kind man, soft-spoken and thoughtful, who believed in two things: education and fundamental dignity of each person. And many of his stories were about lessons of integrity, mercy, and charity. Sir wrote, one day when I was of 8 or 9 years old, my grandfather paraphrased some Rumi. So what if you are thirsty? Always be a river to everyone. Such a beautiful line, such a deep, beautiful human lesson. But sir, you also wrote, but in 2004, my middle son Humayun was killed. It was difficult to breathe at that time, let alone be a river. Humayun was a captain in the United States Army and he was killed by a suicide bomber outside Baghdad. The army awarded him a Bronze Star and a Purple Heart and he was buried in Arlington National Cemetery with full military honor. It was a very hard time. Sir, it must be a very devastating and hard time of your life. And you were, in spite of going through such a big trouble, such a big suffering, you were never short of your words. And sir, I want to assure you that you have been a river of inspiration and motivation to all of us. And thank you so much for coming here. Those were very touching words. And now I know, after reading that, sir, I know that from where you got all your motivation, from where you got all the, courage, all the stamina, all the...
Thank you.
And this is very brave of you, sir, that you stand for all of us, for all the community.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for that.
Well, I'm honored by your words, by your sentiments. It's a privilege to be part of such a beautiful community, such a large community, such a proactive community that is willing to participate and follow our tradition of standing up for justice, standing up for fairness. So I'm honored.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now I want to do some hard questions, sir. Like we all know that you have endorsed Vice President Joe Biden. We want to know, sir, why you have endorsed Joe Biden? Why not Warren? Why not Bernie Sanders and the other candidates? What is the difference? What do you see is the difference?
Two reasons.
Right.
One is the qualification
Right.
of the candidate.
Okay.
All of the candidates are wonderfully decent, patriotic, excellent people, but not for this time. What our nation faces at this moment requires a special person, a special person that has experience on day one, ready to hit the ground running, to take charge and begin to rebuild. Others are good people. They have excellent programs. They have excellent announcements that they have made, but they lack the depth of experience which is needed. History is watching us. History's call is that we support and we elect a leader that is going to, on day one, uplift us. As a Muslim American, I implore my community and others as well to read the announcements of Joe Biden. What has won my heart, as I mentioned, his qualification, his character, his experience, the depth of experience, the respect that he has among world leaders. Other candidates are not known to the world, but he is. That's one. Second is, as a Muslim American, as an immigrant American, something won my heart is that he states in his policy statement that on day one, travel ban will be eliminated, will be terminated, on day one.
Oh, wow, that's wonderful.
On the other hand, you look at the current incumbent, the current president, who has expanded the travel ban and continues to do worse. This is the kind of leadership that this time is calling for, and it is obligatory on all of us not to make the mistake. It doesn't mean that we do not appreciate the leadership of other candidates, but this time in the history of United States is for a leader like Joe Biden. Second reason, which is very personal to us, in 2016, when we were being assailed by Donald Trump and his people, Joe Biden invited us to Washington and invited us to his home. He had already started to speak with the crowd that were in his home.
Right.
And we were a few minutes late as we entered the foyer of the Vice President's residence. He saw and he recognized us.
Okay.
He interrupted his conversation and came towards us, escorted us to the back office. And there is a reason I'm narrating this, because this shows the character, the depth, the empathy of this person.
Right.
He took us in the back office and pointed towards the mantel of the fireplace with the pictures and says, "This is my family." And then it is such a powerful moment that I begin to lose my composure, but I must complete it. He placed his hands on my shoulder and Bazala's shoulder and said, "You are my family. I know you are under attack.
Beautiful.
I stand with you." Those words lifted our burden. And that is the character of this person. It is for those two reasons, qualification, need of the time. I am a student of history and law. I fully understand what is required to move us forward in the better direction, and that is a leader like Joe Biden. So it is for those reasons that I support. I can answer all the questions about healthcare, about education, about immigration. I would implore your audience to check the website of the campaign. It is all in writing, and what you see is exceptional. One thing, as I mentioned, that has won my heart is that he promises in that on day one the travel ban will be removed.
So can you tell the audience too? And this is very important because even I did not know about that. This is very important policy that, can you repeat it in front of the camera, sir, please? I think they will be, this one?
I share with you my support of Joe Biden. One thing that, as I narrated the whole story of why I am supporting, why I am continuing to travel and speak on behalf of the campaign of Joe Biden, is one thing that will concern all of you. This travel ban that continues to grow and is being expanded by the current president. Biden's immigration statement is that on day one, travel ban will be cancelled, will be terminated, will be ended. There will be no travel ban based on religion or country of origin. Fundamentally speaking, which is against the Constitution, against the values of this nation. But he is the only one that has promised in writing that it will be terminated on day one.
ज़बरदस्त सर, इस चीज़ को मैं उर्दू में भी कहना चाहूँगी. लोगों जो कुछ वैसे तो सब कुछ समझ आती है, लेकिन कुछ हमारी ऐसी ऑडियंस होगी जिनके लिए इजी होगा उर्दू में समझना कि जो हमारे वाइस प्रेसिडेंट जो बाइडन है, ही प्लेज्ड अस, ही प्रॉमिस्ड अस कि जैसे ही वो वाइट हाउस संभालेंगे, जो आपको मुस्लिम ट्रैवल बैन नज़र आ रहा है, वो पहले दिन से इसको बिल्कुल कैंसिल कर देंगे. राइट सर, दिस इज़ व्हाट ही हैज़ प्रॉमिस्ड अस. और ये एक बहुत बड़ी अचीवमेंट होगी हमारी. और सर के मुताबिक ये है कि आप लोग सब बाहर आएँ, सब यूनाइटेड हों और वोट करें. जो कैंडिडेट आप सोचें समझें जो बेस्ट कैंडिडेट है, वोट फॉर दैट, जो कि हमें लगता है कि भाई हमारे लिए सबसे ज़्यादा एक्सपीरियंस्ड है, जिसको आइडिया है कि आगे हुकूमत कैसे चलानी है, ना कि हम इसी तरह के क्योस में हम पड़े रहें. जैसे कि मैं आपको कोट करना चाहती हूँ कि देयर इज़ द वाइस प्रेसिडेंट जो बाइडन हिमसेल्फ सेड दैट व्हाट इज़ ऑन बैलेट. There is a American corrector is on ballot. Beside having healthcare issue, gun control issue, all those issues are on ballot. But America's corrector is on ballot. That is very important. And as Vice President Joe Biden said, I don't believe we are the dark, angry nation. I don't believe we are a nation that rips babies out of their mother's arm. And he also said, I want to quote him, I don't believe we are a nation that builds wall. America deserves a president that will bring us together, not pull us apart. That is very important. So, sir, I also want to ask you that what are his refugees and immigration policies?
I would humbly suggest, I have this with me, the whole policy on immigration, that this snatching children from the families and mothers, if it bothers you and your audience watch that and they are troubled in their heart that this is un-American, you have the choice to do something. And that choice in this state is coming up, caucus for Joe Biden. If it bothers you, the treatment of asylum seekers, he promises in the same statement that this inhumane treatment of immigrants will be stopped immediately. Of course, there are laws that have to be implemented, but this snatching children, putting families, separating families, putting them in prison for profit, prisons that have been created at the border for profit will be completely eliminated. And these are not just his words, whereas most of other candidates have wonderful statements, wonderful claims, but Joe Biden's record speaks for itself. 40 years of honorable service to this nation. That accounts for something, that we need. The urgency of the time is that we need a leader that has done all this and more, and has the character to uplift us and move us in the right direction. One more thing that I would like to share
So can
with...
we just take a break? It's time.
Sure.
Okay. I'm so sorry about
No,
that.
no, no.
Okay, stop. Nazreen, it's time for a short break. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Welcome back, Nazreen. We will start from the sir again. So, sir, you were telling us about immigration policies.
Well,
Please.
more than that, I want to share with you and with your audience through you what other communities have done when they have faced the circumstances that Muslim American and current immigrant Americans are facing.
Right.
In 1862, Chinese Exclusion Act was passed that threw out all of the Chinese American that had migrated.
Right.
Then Japanese American internment executive order was passed in 1942.
Okay.
Whereas Japanese men and sons and fathers were serving in the US Army, fighting alongside the US Army in Second World War, but their families were in turn declared as enemy of the nation, enemy of the country. Irish American. There were signs in this country which said Irish need not apply, no Irish men, Irish women could apply for a job.
Right.
But they all came together.
Right.
They all came together.
Right.
And within 30 years, Irish Americans united
Right.
and had first Irish American President John F. Kennedy.
Right.
Japanese American, I recently visited
Yes.
veterans of Second World War of Japanese origin. I asked them this
Okay.
question,
Right.
that as a Muslim, I want to know,
Right.
as a patriotic American, I want to know, what did you do that brought 20 Medal of Honors to that community? 20 Medal of Honors to
Wow.
Japanese Americans after the World War II.
Right. Okay.
This is what they did. They showed me that when we were going through that difficult moment, and
Right.
here is the lesson for all of us.
Right.
Every Japanese American home used to have a piggy bank at the kitchen counter.
Okay.
Whenever we would come home from
Right.
outside, we
Right.
would put coins in it. In a month, it
Right.
will be
Right. For
of
long-
sizable extent.
Right.
And we will empty it, put it in a bag, and whenever we would go to a political campaign
Right.
or political event, we will take those cases and we will give that to the candidate.
Oh,
That is
beautiful.
how they build their voice.
Right.
It is high time for
Right.
us as immigrants, first generation
Right.
immigrants, and our children as well,
Right.
for their sake,
Right.
to make sure that we have voice,
Right.
make sure that we fully participate.
Right.
Because in American democracy,
Right.
maybe back home,
Right.
where we came from where we immigrated,
Right.
participation in politics is not encouraged.
Right.
But in United States, if we
Exactly.
want to live successfully, we must participate. We
Right.
remain engaged, we remain part of the process, we remain part of the political activity, we remain with unity, we remain and we support the candidates that stand for us. I come from the state of Virginia.
Right.
In Virginia, we decided that we will have voice and we will have our candidates.
Right.
Not only we fully participated in
Right.
every election,
Right.
this year we have 4 Muslim Americans in the
Right.
Assembly of Virginia, including
wow,
one
in
women
the-
senator.
Right.
One women senator, Ghazala Hashmi. She is
Wow.
the state senator of Virginia. This happened because we
Lovely.
decided that we are going to fully participate. We had fundraisers, we
Right.
had political events in
Right.
homes Families came together,
Right.
neighborhood came together, and everybody joined.
Wonderful.
Today we
wonderful.
have voice in the Assembly of
Right.
Virginia.
Okay.
It is such activity that
Mm.
I wish your audience would begin to learn and participate.
Inshallah.
Contact, I have attended some events
Right.
in other places,
Right.
and I seldom see a Muslim face. I seldom see an immigrant Muslim face in such activities. We want to encourage your audience. We want to encourage all of your audiences. Participate, volunteer, call the campaign. Call Joe Biden's campaign and say, I want to volunteer. I want to volunteer one Saturday. Want to learn what is caucusing. How do I participate? All of a sudden, your voice will be heard. Your concerns will be heard. It is, if we want to live successfully in this country, for our sake, for our children's sake, because this is our home, this is their home, and they're going to look back and they're going to ask us, what did you do? What did you teach us to be
Absolutely.
successful in this country? Not only professionally, academically,
Exactly.
but politically as well, because
Exactly.
without that, life is not to its full extent.
Right.
I share with you one small story if we have a
Yeah,
time.
Sure. Yes. Yes. Sure.
And
Love
that
to-
story is Atish Namrud. Namrud was a very cruel king. He lit a fire to destroy all of his enemies.
Okay.
The fire was so large that it engulfed the forest. All the birds flew out of the forest. They were sitting alongside the river and watching everything being destroyed, as it is happening today in the United States. One little bird decided that I am going to do something. This little bird goes to the river,
Right.
fills its beak,
Right.
brings it, drops it on the fire,
Okay.
goes back, brings a drop, drops it on the fire.
Right.
The rest of the birds were laughing at it. Said, "You think you can extinguish this great fire by just one drop of water?"
Right.
This little bird said, and I want your audience to listen to the
Right.
answer of this bird.
Right.
The bird says, "I know that it may not make much difference to
Right.
this fire,
Right.
but when I stand before myself, when this is all gone, said and done, when I stand before my Creator, I am able to say that I did my best. I can tell myself that whatever was within my means, I did my best. I want my name written among those who were against all this
Beautiful.
cruelty,
Amazing.
against this inhuman treatment of
Exactly.
immigrants and others as well.
Exactly.
This is our chance.
It is.
History has sometime
Right.
I overstate this, but I must say that this difficult moment is our chance to rise and
Right.
shine. We can sit home and complain and feel bad and gripe,
Exactly. And put it on Facebook all the time, and that's what we are doing these days.
or we can rise up, we
Right.
can stand up and we can unite, we
Right.
can have fundraisers, we can join a campaign,
Yes.
elect a leader, be
Yes.
the electing factor in the success of a leader that is going to unite us, that is going to bring us together, and it is our chance.
It's our chance, and we need to be active and participating for all this. So I was yesterday. I was watching a TV just by chance. There's a mashhoor actor, a very famous Pakistani actor, Faisal Qureshi, and he was saying, they were talking about the partition, and he said that, thank God the Facebook was not at that time. If it would have been Facebook, people would be posting everything on the Facebook, sitting at home, not coming out for the fight, for the sacrifice, nothing. They won't be doing anything, just putting these sad stories on the Facebook. And that is this is so sad, and it really touched me that what we are doing. If we feel bad about something, we just put it on Facebook. Instead of doing something, but when it comes to doing something, we are like, oh, we don't have time, we have to go for a job, we have to do this, we have to do this. But I want to mention over here, sir, that our Las Vegas community especially is wonderful community. They are behind all the candidates who are supporting the Muslim community or the minorities. They are always there. If there's any fundraiser, if there's any activity, I mean, they are wonderful, wonderful, active community, and I wish that we had the community like this all over America.
Sure.
Then we would be a very progressive nation, and this is what we owe to our children, to our next generation, as you just said, sir. So now I want to move forward, and so we want to discuss about his health, VP Joe Biden's healthcare policies. These are very important because everything is going for Medicare for all, and people think that it is very easy, Medicare for all, and you know, you will get Medicare, but from where all that money will come, they don't realize what is going to happen. So, sir, can you tell us a little bit about how, what are the Vice President Joe Biden healthcare policies?
Well, in simple terms, so all of us can understand, is this. The claims of other candidates sound wonderful, sound very appealing, but that speaks of lack of experience, lack of wisdom on their part. On the other hand, in simple words, the Joe Biden's healthcare plan is to strengthen Affordable Care Act, make sure that pre-existing condition is strengthened, make sure it is part of that, and the prescription drugs cost is lowered, which is doable, which other side, the reason is that to announce something that is not workable in the Congress or joining hands with the other party, it is very easy to announce, to mislead the voters, but Biden's plan on healthcare is, in simple terms, that we will strengthen instead of eliminating affordable healthcare. And the prescription drug costs will be lowered, the premiums will be lowered. It is an excellent, excellent plan. I had been beneficiary of it. My family had been beneficiary of it many years ago, but it is something that exists, that needs to be strengthened. So that is his plan. There is no added tax, there is no added cost. Cost will be lowered, but the Affordable Care Act will be strengthened, and the pre-existing condition implementation will be strengthened. Cost of the prescription drugs will be lowered, which is all doable within the current budgetary scheme.
Exactly. That would be excellent. So, Nazreen, it's time for a short break. Please don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Welcome back, Nazreen. So, because Sir has to go, he has other commitments, other meetings. So we will just take a last message, a short message from Sir, and because after that he has to go and attend a couple of other meetings. So, Sir, what is the message that you want to give to our audience, and what is a very strong message for VP Joe Biden that you want the people who are watching this program to do?
Well, here is a brief message to all of your audiences. This is our turn. This is our chance to make sure that instead of sitting home and feeling bad about the treatment by the current administration, we have a chance. We have a strong leader among us, Joe Biden, that has the longest serving experience and the policies that are going to uplift the entire nation, unite us because of his character, because of his experience, because of what he wishes to do, and rebuild the damage that has been done by the current administration. So if we want to be fully engaged and participant, call Joe Biden's campaign, local office, volunteer, contribute, caucus, convince your other friends that this is the candidate. Other candidates are good people, excellent patriots, but no one has the caliber and the experience as Joe Biden. Look at his life, 40 years service in Congress. The leadership of the world recognizes him, respects him, dignify him. It is that type of leader that we need to uplift all of us, to bring the United States back to be the beacon of hope as it always has been. And this is our turn, this is our time. Don't miss. Stand up for fairness, stand up for goodness, stand up for justice, stand up for yourself. And if you worry about the future of your children, this is your time to do something. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. It is very motivational, very inspirational, and I hope that people will come out. It's going to, I'm sure it must have moved many hearts, many people, and
Sure.
there will be, it's going to make a big difference.
It will.
Thank you, and
So
thank you for giving us time and
Thank
coming
you.
over
Thank
here.
you. I'm honored. Thank you.
तो नाज़रीन, हम सर से बातें कर रहे थे और आपने देखा कि उन्होंने बहुत ही ज़बरदस्त बात की, ख़ास तौर पर जो उन्होंने जापानीज़ की स्टोरी सुनाई, दैट वाज सो इंस्पायरिंग। और लेकिन मैं आपको मैं भी इस चीज़ को कहना चाहती हूँ और बहुत मतलब मजबूती से कहना चाहती हूँ कि आप लोग प्लीज़, ये वाला पॉलिटिकल प्रोसेस बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है, इसमें आप ज़रूर बढ़ चढ़ के हिस्सा लें, बी एक्टिव, बी पार्टिसिपेट करें। और बल्कि मैं आपके जो कि वीपी जो बाइडन की उसमें कैंपेन में पार्टिसिपेट करना चाहते हैं, just to get involved in Joe Biden's campaign, and wherever you are in the country, text AAPI to 30330. I'm going to repeat it. Text AAPI to 30330. They will contact you. तो चूँकि हमें, क्योंकि देखें हर जगह वॉलंटियर्स की ज़रूरत होती है, थोड़ा सा अपना टाइम दें, क्योंकि ये बहुत ज़रूरी है। हम जो साहब कंप्लेन करते हैं, जो कि ठीक है, व्हेन वी सफ़र ऑफ कोर्स वी आर गोइंग टू कंप्लेन, बट द थिंग इज़ कि वी आल्सो हैव टू टेक एन एक्शन। और अब दिस इज़ द टाइम दैट वी कम फॉरवर्ड, टेक एन एक्शन। अदरवाइज जब टाइम गुजर जाएगा तो रोने का क्या फ़ायदा। वो आपने पढ़ा हुआ है ना बचपन में, बड़ा मशहूर मुहावरा, उस वजह से मुझे समझ नहीं आती थी जब मैं वो किसी पता नहीं कौन सी क्लास में मैंने पढ़ा था, मैं कहती थी कितना ही बेकार, कितना ही मुश्किल मुहावरा है। और वो था अब क्या रोना जब चिड़ियाँ चुग जाएं खेत। तो अब मुझे समझ आती है, ये एग्जैक्ट मुहावरा नहीं लेकिन ऐसे ही कुछ था, जिसका मतलब ये है कि बाद में जब खेत से चावल चिड़ियाँ ले गई तो अब क्या रोना, पहले इंतज़ाम करना था ना, पहले खेत की हिफाजत करनी थी, पहले कुछ ऐसा करना था। ऐसे कोई उसके ऊपर जाली डालते, कुछ डालते कि भाई चिड़ियाँ खेत से फल या चावल या जो भी गंदम उठा के ना लेकर जा सके। तो ये बाद में रोने का कोई फ़ायदा नहीं होता। हम में से अक्सर लोग ही, मेरी भी ऑब्जर्वेशन है और मैंने देखा भी है, समझा है लोगों को, जहाँ तक वो यही है कि हम लोग पहले चीज़ को उस पर फोकस नहीं करते, और बाद में जब वो गलत हो जाता है काम तो फिर हमारा रोना बहुत ज़्यादा होता है। तो प्लीज़ प्लान इट अहेड, अपने आप को फोकस्ड रखें और सोचें, खुद सोचें कि जो वीपी जो बाइडन है उनको हमने क्यों वोट देना है। लोग कंफ्यूज हो रहे हैं, मीडिया कंफ्यूज कर रहा है, क्योंकि नोबडी वांट्स हिम। कुछ ऐसी फोर्सेस हैं, दे डोंट वांट हिम टू बी द वाइस प्रेसिडेंट, टू बी द प्रेसिडेंट एंड फॉर 2020। उसकी वजह ये है, उसकी वजह बहुत अच्छी है। एक दफ़ा मैं ट्विटर में पढ़ रही थी और मुझे एक बहुत ज़बरदस्त एक खातून ने ट्विटर पे लिखा हुआ था, आई थिंक वीपी जो बाइडन की उस पर लिखा हुआ था कि वाई देयर सो मच क्योर्स गोइंग ऑन, एंड आई रोट इट समवेयर जस्ट टू शेयर इट विद यू, द एग्जैक्ट वर्ड्स, एंड आई वांट टू शेयर इट विद यू। आई हैव इट हियर, आई एम गोइंग टू शेयर इट विद यू दैट व्हाट इज़ एक्चुअली हैपनिंग। तो वो हो ये रहा है कि ट्विटर पे एक खातून ने, जिसका के नाम है पेट्रिशिया शेफर्ड, उसने बहुत ज़बरदस्त लिखा हुआ है, व्हाट्स एट स्टेक इज़ हाउ टू सबोटाज द इलेक्शंस अगेन टू देयर सो दैट देयर किंग कैन स्टे ऑन हिज थ्रोन another 4 years. And we can see there's so much chaos going on in Democratic Party. This way somehow, you can feel that, in future, you can feel the future, what's coming in future. So I would really recommend you just to focus on one thing and just think about it, that why we have to go for Vice President Joe Biden, and ये जो हम discourage हो रहे हैं because we see what happened in Iowa, what's going to in New Hampshire even. His polls were never so good from the very beginning, but just wait and see and stay put, because he is going to do excellent in Nevada, Super Tuesday in South Carolina. There's so many states, Florida, that he is on top of everyone. So we need to come out, we need to help him in any way possible, and we need to, just don't agree with the pundits who are saying that, okay, he's done, he's put, and this and that. So I want to share his Obamacare policies with you, but like all of us, we have benefited. There's so many people who have hundreds and thousands of people who have benefited from Obamacare, and what it is. Joe, and how it came, how it all happened. Joe Biden stood by Barack Obama's side in the fight to secure Obamacare. And thanks to Obamacare, 100 million Americans will, with pre-existing conditions, no longer can be denied coverage. Kids can stay on parents' plan until age 26. Before that, it was much less than that. And even I heard somewhere that even, I'm not sure exact about the timing, but even if you are a graduate or you are in a college, you can no longer be on the coverage. But it's no longer like that until you are age 26. Vice President Biden has a plan to protect and build on Obamacare, and his plan is the best way forward to build on Obamacare with a Medicare like public option. It will lower the co-payment, lower the deductible, the prescription drugs prices will be under control. The most important thing is, if we think clearly, Obamacare health plan, that the VP Joe Biden, he is saying that he is going to improve on that. It hardly costs $750 billion for the next 10 years. But the progressive plan, healthcare plan, Medicare for all, it costs $30 trillion. Imagine from where all that money is going to come from. Is that going to come from our pocket? Just imagine and have a scenario where we already are paying 30 to 40% tax, and imagine we have to pay more tax. There will be more taxes because they have to have those 13 trillion just to give free health care or Medicare to everyone. So are we giving all our paychecks to that? I don't know the sum or the math about that, but we will be ending up paying most of our money in taxes. This is what I think. I may be wrong, but it seems like the money will come from the taxpayers. So I really want all of you to think about it, to see what is the difference, what Vice President has a record, lifetime record of doing things. He has been doing it. What he's saying, he's doing it. He's a man full of character. I can say one thing for sure. No matter how many times I met him, what are the stories people shared with him, and as the Gold Star father, Khizr Khan, he just mentioned, he is a man of character and ethics and values, and he respects all ethnicity, all religions, and all immigrants. So my message to all of you is to be vigilant, to be attentive, participate, fulfill your share of duties, and this is very important because we owe it to our children, to our next generation. Thank you so much, everyone. It's thank you so much for listening to it, for understanding what we just said, what the Gold Star Father just said, because this is a very important time in the history of Muslim Americans, in the history of minorities, in the history of what we see for our next generation. It is going to be an extremely important election, and I would hate if there would be a chaos, and if that would come true, as that lady said, there's so much chaos because they are working towards electing their own king for the next 4 years. I hope it doesn't happen. बहुत शुक्रिया प्रोग्राम देखने का। और अगर आप लोगों से जिन लोगों को पता है, जो लोग मुझे कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं, और आप लोग वीपी बाइडेन उनकी कैंपेन के लिए हेल्प कर सकते हैं किसी भी तरह से, तो प्लीज़ आप बेशक मुझे कांटेक्ट कीजिए। अदरवाइज यू कैन ऑलवेज टेक्स्ट AAPI 30330, और किसी तरह भी आप, और मे भी ईमेल के थ्रू आप लोग कर सकते हैं कांटेक्ट। थैंक यू सो मच। प्रोग्राम देखने का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, प्रोग्राम को अप्रिशिएट करने का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। और प्रोग्राम ख़त्म करने से पहले मैं शराज की मैनेजमेंट का बहुत शुक्रिया अदा करूँगी, जिन्होंने आज जो कि ज़बरदस्त प्रोग्राम भी कर रहे हैं गोल्ड स्टार फादर खिदर खान के साथ। और इस ज़बरदस्त हम इस जगह पे, ज़बरदस्त जगह पे हम अपना प्रोग्राम भी रिकॉर्ड करा सके हैं। तो बहुत शुक्रिया, थैंक यू सो मच। देखते रहिए, कीप वॉचिंग आज की बात हनादी के साथ।